Hi there, and welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. Today we're going to paint very loose, very expressionistic. I'm using a big brush, and we're going to paint something that's actually not too far from my home. It's a little like a ravine sort of a thing, and I always find it quite interesting because no matter when it is I go in there, I always see something different. I'm going to put a little bit of, this is Payne's gray. I'm going to touch a little bit of Payne's gray in here. We're going to try to get this to bleed up into the water that's here. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to drag this across here in a couple of places. That's maybe a little bit too intense. So I'm just going to go over it with my wet brush like that. And we're just going to let that all bleed off to wherever it is it's going to go to. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of sienna here. I'm going to drop some sienna into some places along there and maybe give this a little bit of a swoosh of sienna across the bottom there. But as this is bleeding like that, you can see how that's bleeding up there a little bit too much. You can just tip your board and get that to run back down here. Or you can take your brush, rinse it out really well, dry it off a little bit on a piece of paper towel or something, and then just touch it along here. That's called a thirsty brush, so that will just suck up a lot, or sometimes the majority of that color across there, okay? And then if we want that to blend back into the side here, we just take our brush and just touch it a little bit like that, okay? You can see where that's still pretty wet across there. Just going to touch it with the thirsty brush again. Okay, and then don't I always say don't try to augment it too much. Don't try to change it too much. We're trying to have a loose sort of expressionistic, fun sort of a way of painting. So anything that you want to try to touch the page less, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to pull this through the paint, and I'm going to give a little flicking motion. This is my #1 watercolor brush. You see I've sharpened the one end of it here. You can do this with anything, barbecue skewer, whatever it is that you have handy. Anything wood will really do. Now I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of this yellow ochre right here, and I'm going to swoop it across there one time, get rid of that harsh line that was across there. I'm going to pick up this yellow ochre right out of the pan, just intensify it a little bit more. And now I'm going to take a little bit of this green. We're just going to touch the green in a few places here. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my sienna, and I'm just going to drag it in one swoosh across here, however it is that you can get from one side to the other fairly quickly, fairly expressionistically, okay? So I'm just going to mix up some sienna here, and I'm just going to do that, just one line. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it back into my sienna, and I'm just going to drop a few spots of sienna around. I'm going to go back to this #1 brush, drag it through, make a little bit more underbrush like that. Okay, we're almost done with this. Dry your brush off fairly well, and we're going to pick up some Payne's gray. We're just going to drop it in a few areas like that. And now we're going to go back to that #1 watercolor brush, flick through the Payne's gray, create a little bit more brush. If you want, you can put lines, left and right. All right. Now we got to let this fully dry and see what we get. All right. All right, that turned out pretty cool. It took a super long time for it to dry, but turned out pretty cool. And by letting it dry naturally, you get all this color mixing going on here. You've seen where I added the green, and now there's some green in here, but the green has mixed in with the yellow and the sienna, I should say, with the yellow ochre and the sienna. And then these couple of places where I dropped the Payne's gray in, you know, and this bled up along the side up here. But, you know, when you put the mat on it, most of the time that kind of goes away. Pull this back down here, get a little bit more foreground. Yeah, I think that turned out super cool. I'd like to know what you think of it in the comments section. Please drop me a comment and let me know. If you're currently a subscriber, thanks a lot. If you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know where you're from. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Yeah, I think I might sign that one actually. Maybe put my, see what we're gonna do, put this sort of here. I think we're just gonna put my little RB right there. Nice. All right, thanks for watching.